All right, you man's ready?
Are you ready?
I'm born ready.
I'm not ready.
I'm ready. All right. What's up? Welcome to another edition of the TGR, the Green Room podcast, TGR 905. Coming at you live. I'm here. It's Rye Guy. I'm here with J Rod.
What up?
I'm here with J Bills.
Yo, what up?
And I'm here with Nico Suave.
What's cracking? No AKA.
No AKA?
No AKA.
No, it's gotta be a live, not live, but you know what I mean. A fucking
Really? Okay.
in-person thing, you know? I'm sorry.
I read it.
Just refer back to the other Zoom episodes I did.
I feel like I just held in a sneeze. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that just happened.
Yo, but the thing is, these days, bro, if you sneeze or you cough in public,
it's a
people
thing.
be looking at you sideways.
That's kind of on, bro.
And no one's buying.
Should be careful.
Nobody's gonna buy it if you're like allergies, or if you're just like, oh, it's just a regular cold.
Ain't nobody got
Nobody's
allergies
gonna
no more.
nobody's gonna believe that shit.
I say like every time I cough, I say COVID cough, and then people are like,
Spinning around coughing.
sometimes you gotta make light of the
COVID.
situation, man.
For sure.
Yeah, this is true. So, I mean, we've been kind of in a little bit of a hiatus lately because, I mean, obviously we like to link up in person to do our podcast, preferably. But because of the circumstances and because we want to start pushing out more content for everyone, we decided to buy an actual subscription to Zoom. So now we can give you guys some crazy content.
Yeah, we're preparing for the inevitable Zoomcasts. Yeah.
Yep. It looks like we might be on this wave for a little bit, at least another 30 days. We'll see, give or take. 2020's been kind of a year. It's been an experience, nevertheless. I was listening to a couple people the other day, a radio show, and they kind of were saying how like back in the 60s, people who lived through the 60s were like, oh man, like that was a time, like what a time and shit like that. Like that was history, like living in history. I feel like we're kind of here, like living history, and what they were saying essentially is they kind of wish they weren't living history. Like everyone who back in the day would be like, oh, that was the best, that was the time. A lot of people nowadays, I don't think they would say this is the time. This was
definitely not.
This is when things were popping.
I feel like for us in particular, our generation, we're talking about like, you know, the late 20-year-olds, you know, early 30-ish crowd. Like the 90s, right? The early 2000s were the best years. Like if you look back on that, we're just like, man, those are the best times ever. But ever since like 2000, like 9/11, right? In particular, ever since then, shit's just been going like downhill. And you can make that, like, you could extrapolate whatever you want from that information, but it's just the reality of it. And I feel like, personally, I'm an optimist. I like to see things from a better perspective of life, but I don't know, man. It's not getting any better, that's for sure.
No.
By the way, just a quick plug, TGR 905 mugs on sale. $49.99
Plus tax and
plus
shipping
tax.
and delivery.
It's expensive, so
Never any refunds. No such thing as refunds here.
Oh man.
but yeah. So yeah, back to your point, right, guy? Apparently the 60s were the shit.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were saying, but
I don't know.
like I mean, we all know we're living through history right now, but do you think we're gonna look back on this and be like, oh man, that was like what a time. That was like, you know what I mean? What a time to be alive.
I do think that. But it's funny that you mentioned that because I was just actually reading an article. History during our time is literally produced by the day. Like pretty much every day or every week, some shit is going down. And then we don't even talk about what happened like 3 months ago or 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
nobody cares what happened to Jeffrey Epstein and all those people. Nobody cares about stuff like that.
It's just one after the other. You know? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it has been coming like a time like this, but I didn't think it was going to be this early is quick.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, yeah, the 2020 has been an experience. That's how I'll describe it.
But how have you guys been, Because I haven't seen y'all in a minute. I think I saw Rye Guy like last month or something to drop off or pick up some weed or some shit. I don't know.
I don't even remember. It's possible. It's quite possible. But
he literally just threw it in my car and just told me to leave.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Go before my neighbors see.
Oh man. I mean, obviously we haven't done anything since before the new year. I think the last podcast, what was it? We were talking about plugs and kind of
Yes.
that was a few months ago. I feel like.
Yeah, I think that was in actually October.
Damn.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a while
yeah.
ago.
I remember. It was October, like late October.
Yeah, we
Which
finally
seems like a
started
lifetime
to-
ago, actually.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it feels like it's been forever. I feel like just kind of our area, for those who don't know, Brampton's kind of been a hot spot for the COVID. So yeah,
For sure.
we've all kind of been somewhat locked down, and I don't know why we didn't just say fuck it and do the Zoomcast earlier, but we're here now. So get ready to enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean,
New
we
Year,
were
yeah.
gonna do an episode and link up before things kind of went sideways and kind of review 2020, talk about some stuff that went down. We're not gonna go too deep into that tonight because there's, as you watch this episode, you'll see there's a lot of other things we're gonna talk about that are a little bit more current. But I mean, I know Nico, you had something that you wanted to ask everyone kind of about 2020. I had something I was thinking as well, so I'll kind of go first because
Yeah.
save the best for last is what I'm saying. Basically, like, is there anything that you guys like? Is there anything you guys are grateful for 2020? Like what comes to mind?
Family.
Family. 100%.
Family's a good one. Family's probably the number one.
Yeah.
Especially like I've had a family member pass away a few months ago because of the Ronas.
Yeah,
So that, I mean, it really puts things into perspective.
it does.
Like a lot of shit happened back home with my family. So, like to put in, like quickly, a lot of their houses got fucked up by the typhoon, and they're already out of work, so they lost their houses and their jobs. So, like me, we were scrambling to send over money and clothes, which is fine. I've been sending clothes since I was like a youth, but in this instance, it was completely different. So, it made me realize that, even though the circumstances we are going through over here, that we are fortunate enough to like have something simple like a roof over our head, right? Or people still have money coming in, right? We didn't lose our jobs, stuff like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
How are they now though? Your family back home, are they doing a lot better?
They're doing better. They're doing better.
Yeah.
It was salvageable, but they had to evacuate immediately.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
Fuck,
yeah.
man. Well, it's good to hear that everything's kind of
Oh, yeah, man. For sure.
So family is huge.
I would say personally, being like having a job that is an essential service. That's something that I'm grateful for, especially because considering when this all started, I was a freelancer and I ended up losing my job. But then luckily on the next job at an essential service, and I'm not one of those frontline worker essential service people either. I have the luxury of kind of, being in a pretty safe space for the most part. So I'd say I'm pretty grateful for that because, there's lots of people who are out of work. Lots of people can't even run their businesses right now. We've talked about how small business owners have been raped royally. You don't have to go far on the internet to see the memes about like Walmart and Amazon and all that shit.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, definitely something I'm grateful for. Anything else, you guys? Just family and
Family, bro.
At the end of the day,
Family
that's
and
all that
family
matters.
and
Money.
family and cash.
Family and funds, bro. Family and funds.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we were deprived of all these freedoms because we had to lock down, right? Couldn't go, I don't know, to the gym or to to the restaurants or whatever like that. But I mean, I know it's easy for me to say because I'm in a better spot than most people who were like negatively affected by the Ronas, but there's always like a silver lining to the negative aspects. It's just how you see, it's just your perspective on life is what makes it a good or bad thing, or makes it worse, or what makes your situation better, type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like an example would be, I guess this can apply to most people, it's just if you're like me and I like to go out to like restaurants with my girlfriend, we love eating bomb food. Obviously we couldn't do that, so we stayed in, we cooked, right? And got better at cooking, got closer together, saved much more money, that type of shit. Some simple stuff like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Makes sense.
So I believe at the end of the day, it's just how you see or how you adapt to the situation.
Oh, for sure.
Making the best out of a bad situation, if you can.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's been
I mean, definitely, I think one of the better habits when quarantine first started, we were ordering bare skip the dishes, but we, we kind of like, we're like, nah, we can't do this. We start ordering our groceries and then just started making bare meals and, making sure no leftovers got wasted and shit. And
Of course.
we're doing pretty good. That's one pretty good habit we've developed over this quarantine, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like as an adult, like I feel where the majority of our money goes to is food. I don't know, for me, myself, I spend a lot of money on food, man. Like I love to eat.
Love food, man.
Love to get groceries and shit. Such an adult thing to say.
Yeah.
That's what it is,
Yeah.
Long gone are the days of buying fucking like shoes for whatever reason, I mean, hopefully in the future. I honestly want a dope ass sneaker collection in the future, and I will have it, but right now is not the time for that. You can't go out anywhere. Show them off. Man's on the gram, so I'm not trying to flex on anybody. I don't need to.
Taking pictures of your shoes in your crib, like, yeah, I'm a new Jordans.
Yeah, see?
There's a lot of money in being a shoe reseller online these days.
There's a lot of money in being like any reseller, basically. But yeah, shoes in particular, because there's a huge culture built on that.
Big time.
Yeah. I used to dabble into that back in the day. It's not fun.
There have always been like shoes I always wanted to buy, but just never did it because I would never spend that much money on shoes. Like I wanted to buy the Luke Skywalker Adidas. They were like orange. I wanted to buy the Back to the Future Nikes. I wanted to buy.
Oh, you mean the mags?
The mags, Air Mags?
Yeah.
Those are like the most expensive shoes. Those are sick.
I don't care. They look fucking greasy and they're from Back to the Future. I want.
Oh, those are sick. I want those.
Yeah. I'm saying like those. That's my dream shoe right there. Power laces, bro.
Yeah.
It's a power.
Marty McRae guy over here.
Of course, you'd want the fucking Star Wars Adidas.
Of course, yeah.
So like,
I'd get that. I forget what brand it is, but I know Kid Cudi has like a Bill and Ted Future shoe too. I would get that as well.
you would, bro. We get a fucking Ender's Game Jordan 3 or some shit.
Jeez.
But like, just going off your topic of what you're grateful for, what are some, because quarantine's not technically over, so we still have a chance to better ourselves, I guess, if you want to say, but what are like some good and bad habits that you picked up during quarantine?
I'll start with a bad one.
Sure.
Video games. I've been playing way too much video games. Like,
so you trying to Warzy after this though?
I'm 100% down to Warzy after this. 100%.
I always see this man online. All these niggas, Warzone.
Bro, I told you to get on the tip, bro. We could do a fucking Twitch. Look, poll to our audience. If we did a Warzy Twitch, would you watch?
I don't know. Let's ask our viewers. Yo, if you guys want to see us Twitch or whatever the fuck that is, comment below, like this video, hit us up on the socials.
Shit.
Let us know if you would be interested in watching a TGR 905. Warzy Twitch.
TGR 905 on Warzone, bro.
Yeah, no, like I'm guilty for that too. I'm playing PS4. Like I haven't played like fucking video games in forever, but
Actually,
I'll probably play like 30 minutes or an hour, maybe a night, and then I'll just like walk away frustrated. And
Lightweight, bro. Lightweight.
try to do something else.
lightweight.
I get cheese and then I cook
Light
it.
hours, bro.
That's it.
I log more hours than I'm willing to admit. Like
It's
just
okay because we're talking. That's what we're talking about. You guys, Bills or J-Rod, you have any bad habits that you picked up?
Bad
Yeah, at the
habits.
beginning, I was ordering a lot of food at the beginning.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I realized it's like, yo, how much am I paying these motherfuckers to bring me food? Like, nah.
It's a
You
month.
know what I mean? So then I started, like you said, I started cooking a lot. You know what I mean? Started going out doing groceries more. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's been turning out for the better because guys are ordering like jerk chicken like every other day.
Every
It's like a $12 meal ends up like $25.
I bought bare St. Louis wings, bro.
It's like, yo, it's crazy because like I have some of my fridge right now. I'm about to go eat, but like, I can't taste or smell, so it's kind of sucks.
Oh, shit.
And the reason for that we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, like myself too. We were ordering Uber Eats, like especially near the beginning. I kind of went on a binge when it was officially lockdown. I think it was in March or something. March.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh no,
That was
April.
the beginning,
April.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like the actual lockdown.
When it was officially lockdown, I went on a binge, bro. I was eating like
They're crazy.
obviously eat every day, but eat excessively. Just not mindful of what I was putting in, especially because up to that point I was training for a fight, so I was dieting hard, right?
Okay.
Like my meals, my calories were limited, and the work intensity was fucking through the roof. So when my gym closed down, I was like, well, what the fuck? I'm trying to eat right now, bro. Like, and then so I was just like, probably gained 10 pounds. And then, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a bad habit, but
Yeah, definitely eating is a hectic one.
yeah. What about you, Bills?
Honestly, probably a mix of the both. Running bare FIFA, I was like, holy shit. It consumes your soul sometimes, bro. And I was like, fuck. And then after just like copping unnecessary food, you know what I mean?
For no reason.
Holy, for no reason.
It's because it's
at all.
so convenient, man.
I'm saying, like, you know what? Oh, shit. Let me say something right quick, bro.
There should be a feature where, like, there should be a group discount. You know, say TGR 905's ordering food for themselves. So hook us up with a little fucking...
A little $8 off, you know?
We're gonna add
Yeah,
12
$8
bucks to
up.
this.
You know what I'm saying?
Plus 12.
Right?
Figure out what you want.
Yeah.
You want a drink? $13.
Yeah, but wouldn't you... That'd be a good deal. And kind of like a sidetrack topic, but I was talking to a coworker how nobody's like Boxing Day shopping or whatever anymore, right?
Oh, man.
People love to go in person and do their thing.
Stand in line.
Nobody could. But I was like, man, like, you know who should do Boxing Day deals? Fucking Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and fucking DoorDash. They make so much cash. Everybody would order bear food if there was Boxing Day deals. I would.
Yeah.
Fucking 50 wings for $12 or something. Bro.
I had to go bankrupt off that shit, bro.
That one
During COVID time?
Yo, but they made so much money like within the first 6 months of COVID.
Oh, man.
They're laughing.
Bankroll.
They're laughing.
We ain't getting none of it back either. No charity. We just keeping that shit. Our charity, the charity of us.
So food and video games is essentially our bad habits.
Yep.
Two things.
Yeah, that's basically okay, any good habits? I don't know.
Doing a lot of reading. I feel like we talked
Reading?
about this before. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of reading.
What kind of stuff have you been reading?
Self-development books. Like the 50 book. Book called Slight Edge. A couple more, right? So it's been all right still. Actually, you recently just put me onto a book, which I'm going to start reading tonight on blockchains and Bitcoin. So respect for that.
No problem. Yeah, definitely reading. Like for me, I haven't been reading as much as I did the previous year. I think 2019 I did be one book a month at least. But a good habit that I picked up was just fucking podcasts and audiobooks, man. Because I commute to work every day. It's not a long drive, but within that time frame, I can just fill my mind with like valuable information, before I work out, when I do my warm-ups or my stretches, like it's an easy 15 minutes that I can just take in a podcast about self-development or money management or something, anything to do with financial literacy.
Bro, I feel like it's so much better than like listening to music and shit on your way to work. It's like,
I mean,
a lot. I don't know.
You think that because we run a podcast, right?
Yeah.
We'd be promoting podcasts, like especially, but it's only lately that I've really enjoyed and implemented that sort of discipline into my life, and it's for the better, man. Honestly, my financial literacy just improves every day compared to any other time in my life.
Yeah,
so I'm really thankful for that.
It's amazing.
So yeah. Also, I could pretty much stopped smoking weed during quarantine.
Hey.
Ooh.
So
Welcome
we talked about that before in the previous. I feel that's a good habit.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to talk about. So, any other good habits you guys fucking?
I've been music. I can't play hockey right now, so lost that sort of creative outlet. But I've been able to put all that energy into music for the most part, and just producing beats and teaching myself things to do with music and like video production and other stuff. Like obviously, I've also been studying a lot of financial stuff as well, based on conversations we've had outside of the TGR podcast and whatnot. For those who don't know, we have a money group. We have a financial support group where mans talk about money on the low. I encourage people to do this, because it's good. It's I think that is like having that sort of like group. Not only do we discuss things between each other, but then based on those conversations, we all go out and do our own personal research on things, and it just pushes us like collectively to continue to make strides with our financial literacy, as you put it, right? So definitely that's another good thing. So just being able to have time for creative outlets more, and then obviously financial literacy for me as well.
Yeah, 100%. Bills?
For me, honestly,
good habits.
I'd say good habit. Well, something that I knew. Well, I wouldn't say it was most of a habit, but like with my family, like I don't really like talk to or communicate too much with my family back in the day. I'm not to be real, I'm be real with you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I was just chilling, you know what I mean? Just doing my things, and but like having to like sit down and like be able to like talk to my sisters and my mom and like and like St. Vincent, my grandma and like some of my cousins out there and stuff like that. It's nice, and you get to really see who you are through your family, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like it's been like a bit of a trip too, because even to this point, my sister is organizing a Zoom family reunion.
Nice.
So we're doing it everyone on my dad's side right now, because like we don't really have that much connection because everyone's pretty much in St. Vincent, right? So it's like, you know, it's not really the same. So my sister's setting that up, and it's, I think, like on the 24th or something like that. So it's been very interesting, you know? And so like, now I guess my habit is I usually connect and go out to see how my niece is doing, my sister's doing, you know, everyone else. Because it's just, I feel like it's a part, like everyone needs that, you know what I mean? You don't really realize it until you have it.
Until it's, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You have like a particularly large family here, or is it mostly back home?
It's mostly in St. Vincent. Like here, I probably have like a few cousins, and a few cousins in the States, and then a few cousins in England. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm. Some habits I've been picking up on is reaching out to family.
Yeah, like I know, particularly me and my family, we have a group chat on WhatsApp, and there's 25 of us there, and that's just the family here.
Oh shit!
In Canada, well, in fucking Brampton, I guess. Brampton in the GTA. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, no, I know what you mean about connecting to your family like that. I think is very important.
Yeah.
Especially to know your roots, you know, never forget where you came from. I feel like that's something that first generation Canadians sort of push aside because we're so fixated on, you know, trying to succeed, right? Trying to live our life, trying to be, establish our own lives. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because it's just like, family's family, man. They reach out to you. It also takes two to tango. You also got to reciprocate with that. And yeah,
true. Very true. Yeah.
A good habit that I actually picked up towards the end of the year is journaling.
Journaling.
Yeah, man. I know a few other people who do it, and those other few people are like really, you know, talented, intelligent individuals. Not saying that there's a correlation, but I'm saying that it definitely helps, especially if a lot of your creative outlets were taken away from you during because of quarantine. To me, in particular, journaling gives me a chance. Like if I have a day off or if I have some time early before work in the morning, I'll just write a page or whatever. It's just unfiltered thoughts of what I feel like needs to be addressed that's going on in my mind. Because, you know, particularly myself, I have pretty controversial opinions about things. And you can't really share that with, you know, everyday people all the time because it's
trust me.
It can be overbearing. Like it is overbearing. It is. It sucks. But
creates an uncomfortable situation.
Exactly right. You don't want to create tension between already established relationships. Not that I'm saying that will, but
it could.
Once somebody's views or are challenged by something that's completely unheard, that they've haven't heard of or anything, they get uncomfortable, like you said. But anyways, so journaling is just like unfiltered, just writing nonstop for 10 to 15 minutes about social affairs or, you know, today's social climate or what happiness means to me or if I'm deserving of success. Literally, it could be anything. But I like to question myself when I write these entries because it allows me to reflect on things that I really need or what I deserve or what I desire, that type of thing. So I suggest if you've never done it, like even if it's just a small little paragraph, first thing in the morning or last thing before bed to do it, because it's very therapeutic, actually. You're sort
I've actually been doing it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I picked up the habit throughout November. Sort of lost track this last month, but I've been trying to get back into it again because I agree with you. It is therapeutic, and I don't usually write like long. I just do it right before bed, just kind of talk about how my day is, what I plan to do tomorrow, and again, it's attitude adjustment. Just saying this needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Like saying what I'm grateful for, reminding myself, and you know, pointing out, like criticizing myself, I guess to an extent, saying
that's
this needs to be better, this needs to change, but then also taking the time to also be good to myself and like also point out positive things that that kind of I've seen for myself and that I want to continue moving forward. That's kind of the way I approached it.
Definitely.
And yeah, man, it was pretty simple. I would just do it every night right before bed.
And it doesn't need to be anything crazy, but I feel like once you get the hardest part is starting, obviously, but once you get the momentum going, it becomes a habit, like a good habit, right? If you look at pretty much a lot of the successful writers, musicians, all that, they preach journaling their life, their experience.
Do you use an app or anything?
No, I paper and pen, man.
Oh, okay, nice,
100%.
Old school. I use an app.
There's something different about just physically writing. It brings language is power, and when you actually write it out, I feel like the affirmations are stronger. I know that sounds kind of like woo, but if you take the time to actually write it out, read it back, it is a very powerful tool in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. That's why I write shit on my whiteboard all the time in the basement, and I leave those notes up there sometimes for a little bit, just to come back and remind myself every day. I use an app called Daily Prompt. I would highly recommend that to anyone. It's pretty good. You just can kind of template it for however you want it. If you don't know what to write about, sometimes it'll give you a prompt, ask you a question, something like that, just to get you started. And it just sends you a couple reminders. So if you forget, it reminds you, hey, did you do your journal entry?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's good. I would recommend it.
I like that.
And it's free.
That it poses questions sometimes just to help the juices get going. Type of thing.
Exactly. You don't have to think.
Yeah, exactly. Anything. Right. And that I feel like that's one huge component of journaling is that you're not supposed to dwell on the act of actually journaling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just supposed to write. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself a question that you might want to be asked by somebody, right? Like, what does life mean to you? Or what do you consider happiness? Or what do you consider success? Stuff like that. Like I love writing about that because it really puts into perspective what that means to me and how can I sort of navigate my way to it.
To achieve it too.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, men, we don't fucking hit each other up and we're like, yo, Bills, my day was so shit, man. Like spent 47 minutes hearing me talk about why work was so stressful today. Like we don't do that. Men don't do that. Right? Not any men I know. A lot of women, not trying to create a disparity between the two genders, but a lot of women, they get their feelings out with their friends. They spill the tea, they call their friends up, and then they just vent, right? Men are so, we have this barrier. We're like, I'm a man. I don't ain't no bitch. Fuck your emotion type of thing. Right? But that's exactly, you know what I'm saying? So we don't sort of have that consistent outlet that we can sort of just let our feelings loose and just be like that. So I feel like, this podcast in a sense is an extension of that. Journaling in a sense is an extension of that. Creating music is an extension of that. Mm-hmm. Working out is an extension of that type of thing. That's sort of how we delineate between our process of emotion versus theirs type of thing. So I feel like journaling is becoming a huge part and a very beneficial one.
For real. Mm-hmm. I have to look into that. That sounds, if you're saying it's therapeutic too, and you just get something off your chest, might as well.
Just do it. Just like put a blank sheet.
Yeah, don't even think about it
on your nightstand or whatever. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna see it, and then you just write.
Or get an app that prompts you and says, "Hey, asshole, write something."
Write your shit, bro.
But yeah, another good habit. I feel like I'm only talking about my good habits.
You might be the only one who's picked up some good habits.
Oh, I imagine just being ignorant in the cut.
No, but this sort of applies to like you guys, Rai Guy and J Rod in particular, about the financial literacy part. Because of my job, especially when COVID first hit, we got more money than we usually do. And towards the end of the year, it was the same thing. So that allowed me to sort of play around in the stock market for once. Mm. I've been studying the stock market for 2 or 3 years prior to that, just reading books on it. I have some here. Let me see if I can put Investing for Dummies as one of them. Mm. Anyways, so it allowed me to throw some money in there and take some risks, right? And honestly, it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, because it gave me this perspective on what money really is. Like, you know, money shouldn't sit around. Money needs to move in order for it to replicate more money. It gave me the knowledge to say, you need to put your money into these things instead of a bank, because the bank ain't doing shit for you. But if you make some calculated trades or research, due diligence, or technical analysis, then your money will exponentially grow over time. And it's a good thing because you can see that it's an actual tangible thing, not like, I guess, I guess exercise would be a good metaphor for this. You don't see results the next day after doing 100 sit-ups, right? Mm-hmm. You don't automatically get abs after doing 100 sit-ups the next day, right? But I can get $100 if I make a nice trade or something like that, and then I see it, right? Mm-hmm. And also, like, it allowed me to be passionate about it, which is something that I feel like most or all people should do, because that is your money, right? At the end of the day, money is it makes the world go round, right? Mm-hmm. Cream, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and being like exposed to a group like what we have, it allows us to share ideas, bounce ideas back and forth, and also plan for the future. And also give the knowledge to people who are not knowledgeable about it, and essentially change their lives by putting them on this new path that maybe one day in 10 years you can be financially free. You don't have to work for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That'd be nice.
That's the goal,
kind of
man.
The plan, right?
That's the goal, bro. 10 years. 10 years. Max.
I mean, it's totally doable, 100%.
You can do it in 5 if you really wanted to fucking get it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really wanted to get it.
I totally agree.
Actually, speaking of that, there's a really good podcast I just listened to by Bigger Pockets Podcast. You can find them on Spotify. It's one of my favorite podcasts, bro. It's called 0 to 1 million in 5 years. And it's like a relatively short episode, but it's very in depth, and it's more geared towards real estate, but you can apply it to essentially the stock market or small businesses or anything like that. Blah blah blah.
You gotta send that to us. Put that in the group too.
Yeah.
0 to 1 million.
1 million.
Very cool.
In 5 years.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a flex right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of 1 million, buy our merch so we can fucking get a million.
Pop this.
You could buy Bill's hoodie right off his back.
I'll link you and I'll link up with
for
the
one rack.
Which is
a deal. That's a deal.
One
That's
rack.
a deal.
And we won't watch it.
He'll sign it.
Oh, maybe. I'll say half first, half later.
Exactly.
You get the J, you get the bills later.
$1,000 cash or Bitcoin or Ethereum, crypto. Take it all. But yeah, good habits and bad habits, man. We all got them.
Yeah.
We all got them.
Everyone, all of our followers, all of our listeners, if you developed any good or bad habits over the course of the pandemic, we encourage you to comment, share all of that shit with us, engage with us. That'd be fun.
What's one bad habit and what's one good habit that you developed during the lockdown, which is still going on?
Yeah.
Mans can't
Lockdowns,
even
we should
go
just
into
call
a
them.
store without a mask
Holy, bro. But, you know, it is what
until
it
you
is.
get vaccinated, and then everything's good all of a sudden.
Even
Whatever.
more cold.
Out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, COVID numbers in Canada are at an all-time high right now.
This is true.
I believe that.
J-Rod,
And
speaking
that
of
don't
which,
make sense.
yeah, dog.
you've been wiping your nose a lot during this episode.
Yeah, trust you.
What's
Yo,
up with
Jared,
that?
why can't you smell or taste anything, bro?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in
That's
the episode, but why?
Oh,
Those
what's
are like the two best things that you can
Why
even
would
ask for.
anyone in this time have a sensation like that?
Man's tested positive as of as of like 2 days ago. I tested positive for COVID-19.
Ah,
Oh,
They said, oh.
it's okay, y'all. We all got virus protection on our laptops, so
I'm
we're
about to
good.
grab my Febreze right now.
Right?
That Lysol, wipe this shit down. But
no, like honestly, like it kind of sucks, to be honest with you. I started feeling symptoms on the 4th or the 2nd of January, which was a Saturday, I believe. Went to bed with a ridiculous headache. Woke up, my body was aching, back was hurting. No, like, you know, I didn't have like any bad cough or anything like that. A couple of days later, I'm sniffling, and all the way up until yesterday, when I lost my sense of smell and sense of taste. And it sucks, to be honest with you, but you know, I think honestly, like almost everybody in my house has it too. And
so saying don't go.
Don't go
Your
near
ends,
your
not ends.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Don't come to your ends.
Oh,
Y'all want to do a Covey party like what they do with chicken pox?
Kobe party spray. I just took that in.
Aren't those called super spreaders now?
Oh shit.
They're called fucking terrorists, apparently.
Yeah.
Biological terrorists.
Man, it's achoo, nigga.
It's a biological attack.
How is it different? Like, obviously, the lack or the loss of taste and smell is probably the most.
That's wild, bro.
Most of
It's
it.
the most
Two
glaring symptom. But how does it compare to like your previous times getting the flu? Because I'm sure you've gotten the flu before, right?
I have. You know what? I
feel like
have.
everybody has.
I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty similar. Pretty similar. But this time, like, I knew exactly what it was. You know what I mean? Just because of all the shit.
84.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Just because I know all the shit that's going on. You know what I mean? So automatically, I'm just like, COVID, done. Before I lost any sense of smell, taste, or anything, like my back, like I've never really had like back pain before.
Back pains, yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never had real back pain before. Muscle aches, yeah, here and there. But when I seen I had back pain, I was like, okay, this is something different I've never experienced before. I knew it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's, you know, I'm thankful it's not worse. I'm thankful that, you know, everybody in my household, it's not as bad. Like, you know, if there's people in the hospital right now, there's people dying.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
Another thing,
Especially if you're immunocompromised, like you're very obviously susceptible to
exactly.
something like this. So
Mhm.
that's good though.
Mhm.
Like, are you doing anything to treat it?
Yeah.
Honestly,
What are you doing? Just
honestly,
chilling?
I'm literally just chilling, drinking lots and lots of water, getting some rest, just chilling, like not taking things too hard.
Mhm.
I've been wanting a lot. Excuse me. I've been wanting a lot of fruits lately. I don't know why. Like, I just been craving fruits, just straight up, just
It's
natural
a
sugar.
COVID symptom. If I've
You can't
ever
even
heard
taste them.
it. Someone goes up to you and says, "I want a banana." You gotta stay away from them.
Craving a lot of fruits lately, like,
Interesting.
Yes, I want to taste some fruit without
Interesting.
tasting fruit. Holy.
Yeah. I want to put fruit in my mouth, but not taste it.
I mean, there's a silver lining to losing your sense of taste and smell. You can eat a lot of good food that doesn't taste really good. You don't need to taste it, but
Anything is good is basically what you're saying. Sustenance.
it only started happening yesterday, right? So, and
yeah,
it kind of freaked me out because, like, I don't think I've ever lost my sense of taste or smell before.
yeah,
I don't think that's ever happened to me before. And then it happened. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
I'd be cheesed.
Yeah, that's actually a trip. So that never happened to me either.
I was like,
I'd be
I'm
super cheesed.
I want to get it all. Oh my God.
I'd be like, no.
I can't taste. No,
That's depressing.
I'm grateful it's not worse though. You know what I mean? I'm grateful.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because it could be worse, right? So,
Right.
grateful
So
for that.
one thing that could help, well, I guess I don't know how, is oil of oregano.
Oregano. Okay.
Probably one of the strongest antiviral, antibiotic, antiparasitics out there, all natural.
Okay.
I take this almost like every morning, especially because being in the position I work at.
Yeah.
Preventative measures are huge.
Of course.
But, you know, I always tell people, like, if the government really cared about us, they would tell us how to take care of better selves of ourselves.
Definitely.
As opposed to just finding a solution to the already evident problem, which would be the vaccine. So if they really cared about us, they'd be educating us on, you need vitamin D, you need a lot of it, you need exercise, you need to fucking go outside, you need fresh air, all that shit. You need better sleep.
Fresh air helps a lot too. Crazy.
You need
listen.
hours.
All you need is plexiglass and fabric over your face.
Plexiglass and fabric.
That's the answer.
Those are the solutions you need. Those are the answers.
That's
Not
the
all
answer.
these amazing good habits that are beneficial for you in all ways that Nico just mentioned. Plexiglass and fabric.
Oh, especially
if you want to.
Like this applies to J-Rod and Bill's being darker skinned. You can't absorb as much vitamin D as someone more light skinned because the pigmentation of yours. So you really have to like double up on that shit. Which is okay because literally everybody, especially in North America, is deprived of vitamin D. We don't get a lot of sun, and summer is only like 4 months in a good year. That's assuming you go outside.
Nico, are you saying I have white power?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the Capitol building right now, you get shot or beat up. Probably be let in.
I'd be able to, walk around with some Viking horns on and some Braveheart paint.
Viking horns. Don't kill them.
Did you see that shit?
Yeah, 100% saw that shit.
Everyone did.
You can't
Wow.
That shit was horrible, bro. Like,
2 things you can't avoid in the news: COVID numbers and something to do with Trump.
Yeah.
That was like, bro, like,
niggas ain't doing it the right way.
He got deleted off Twitter and shit too.
He's deleted off everything.
Censorship.
Everything.
I don't know if what I saw was real, but I think he might have started an OnlyFans. That was like a joke.
Definitely not.
Yo,
but I see someone do that. Oh shit!
So let me ask you this: do you believe that it is censorship because they deleted his?
Yeah.
I mean, now that I think about it, it's kind of a thin line because he does have such a cult following. So whatever he says
is very dangerous.
Is a dangerous thing, right?
Burn it down.
But not everyone.
He's also not saying
is a follower of him though.
But he's also not saying like, "Yo, go out there and kill dogs or some shit." Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's kind of it's a tricky thing. I feel like
or the Capitol.
Trump, like that, using him as a scapegoat or essentially like an experiment to censor somebody in a position of power is a good start because I feel like it will only snowball from there. Like he's definitely not going to be the first and last.
Yeah. I was just say like censoring people of influence who are not using their power for good, essentially.
Well, like people with influence
not
who are using the
necessarily.
power of ignorance to spread their ignorance,
Pretty much.
basically what it is.
But I mean, aren't they allowed to? Aren't people allowed to be ignorant though? Isn't that?
See, that's the thing. Like I'm always an advocate of free speech. Unless you're racist or homophobic, then that's just hatred, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Right? But I don't know. Like it doesn't just apply to Trump because I know a lot of YouTube videos who talk about the vaccination the videos are being taken down. They're being censored. A lot of actually very established doctors in the medical community who are talking about how masks, social distancing doesn't work, or how a vaccination is unneeded, they're being censored as well. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with, Dr. Sebi or Sebi.
Sebi, yep.
Yeah.
Like, he was censored heavily because he talked about how you can prevent or fight cancer with just natural remedies, dietary changes, exercise, all that stuff, right? So it's sort of like that. Where does it start? Where does it stop? Type of thing, right? Censorship is in itself a byproduct of this socialist totalitarianism thing that we don't want to go towards, you know?
But we're going right towards it.
Because as soon as we give up our freedoms to speak whatever's in our heads is the day that they control the narrative, which they, in a sense, they're already doing. But
already doing that.
Yeah.
You know, these social media apps like Twitter or Instagram or something like even TGR is a medium for ourselves to express how we really feel, whether it be about you or I or Big Brother or the government, about anything really, right? Like, who's to say that maybe they'll censor TGR 905 in 5 years because we're saying some controversial shit?
Talking that shit.
Right?
I can see it happen.
You know, so it's not like I support what he says. Like, I don't think I've ever really supported what he said, in a sense. There's very few things that I really agreed on what he talked about, but
I laughed at things he says, but I don't agree with things he says.
Yeah,
character.
Yeah,
that like you can't deny the entertainment value of that guy. I will say that much. The entertainment value, but the scary thing is then something like what happened on Capitol Hill in Washington, like happened. It's like, oh, like it's like the whole thing where like nobody took him serious and him just talking his ignorance before he got elected. And then everyone's starting to not take him serious some more. And then sure enough, here we go. You know, he's creating a divide. He's creating this segregation. Did everyone freeze on me? Everyone froze on me. Everyone is frozen.
This is wild. Way more vicious, bro. It'd be like one of those days that would just like set off America because you killed way too many people.
Yeah,
those type of things. But like, in a sense, you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. You can get killed for that shit. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, if you did it, that's on you. You decide to do something stupid like that. But you're gonna be escorting people away, you know, walking people down the steps. Oh,
like, yo,
running
like,
away.
Come on, bro.
Well, it's like
never seen the police run away from anyone. You strapped.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like whether it was, I don't know, because I'm still deciding, or even if I want to fucking look into it anymore because I'm sick of it. Whether it was staged or not staged, that's up for debate. But yeah, you do make a valid point where if it was people of color or anybody who didn't do it, then it would be a completely different reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's a fact, because you have to look at it. There's so many instances where you trade one color for another and the situation is completely different. Like that, I mean, you don't need to make the point where a black man in the United States is carrying a fucking cell phone and then he could possibly get shot by the police because for whatever reason, right? Where in a sense, who's that dude that young kid who shot up the church and he was escorted with a bulletproof vest to fucking Burger King?
Yeah.
You know?
I remember his name. Yeah, I
can't remember his name. I don't even want to know his name, but
some sicko. But yeah, you know, like that.
Wanted some Burger King. Like,
however,
really?
I'm gonna put this out there. This is another controversial topic that I have. Any other ones?
My favorite topics.
Listen, if you're gonna riot, if you're gonna incite a riot or protest, whatever, Capitol Hill, the place to do it. Why? Because it puts fear into the people in position of power. All of a sudden, they're vulnerable, right? We shouldn't be rioting or protesting in the streets where small businesses thrive, where people's houses are, where essentially we're destroying our own community. No, let's fuck up theirs.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones, at the end of the day, they're the ones that make the decisions. Unfortunately, right?
Makes all
Even
sense.
though they're not in the cut, they're not on the streets, they didn't grow up from poverty, they weren't exposed to poverty, they're the ones making the decisions. So if we were going to riot and we're going to protest and we're going to fuck shit up, it's got to be an establishment like that.
Yeah, you got to go to Mordor, bro.
Not a fucking Target.
Yeah,
Not a
that's
fucking
what I'm
Target.
saying.
No, you got to put fear into these fucking people's hearts. Let them know that, you know, this is what's good. If you want a change to happen, then that's what's going to happen. You like, it's weird because all these people, a lot of people are looking at this and like, holy shit, this is so crazy. But it's fucked because this goes on all the time in places like Venezuela, Chile, Philippines, you know, Vietnam. All these countries have done this. They've experienced all of this in the past. They're still experiencing things like this. And it's unfortunate. But if you're trying to change things, you got to bring it to the man.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, yeah, Nico, why aren't you fucking protesting out in, I don't know, Parliament Hill or whatever? Shit, I'll be one of the first people out there. If shit really hits the fan, I don't care. Political prisoner. Y'all would free me.
Hell yeah, bro. I gotta create some money to get my nigga Nico out of jail.
We take some politician's kid hostage and we'd ransom them to get Nico out.
This is how TGR gets censored. But
oh shit.
yeah,
I've been watching too much Narcos. Sorry.
Fucking t-shirt, yo.
Free Nicks, nigga. Free Nicks.
That'd be so hard. I actually want to get because my uncle's in prison. I want to get a fucking free Tito Body t-shirt.
That sounds very raw. Actually, you should cop
that. Is
my dad would probably get super cheese at me.
What are you dealing with, fam? We're putting our business out on the street, fam. Holy!
Oh shit! Oh man!
Holy shit! Don't kill me.
Yeah, Capitol Hill.
Crazy, bro.
So that was fucked. Yeah, I like judging just kind of the way we talked about it. We're all kind of just exhausted from it. Like like as much as like me, I found like looking at the pictures of it, like first it was like shock when I first saw it. Then looking at the pictures of it, I was kind of just laughing at the ridiculousness of it. Like what the fuck is going on here? And then I was just kind of like, oh, like after I was just like, man, like what the fuck is going on with the world right now, man? Like what the fuck? And then, you know, kind of even crazier news just a little bit before that, I guess, that kind of fucked my shit up royally was MF Doom.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Like,
that shit hit me.
I mean, before we wrap up here, I think we need to talk about MF Doom because I know at least myself and I know J-Rod, he was huge influences on us. I'm sure he was huge influences on Bills and Nico as well. You know, Doomsday officially came, Operation Doomsday. It came unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. And I honestly wasn't surprised to hear that like he actually died back in October, but nobody knew he died until like now.
Yeah. Do you know how he passed? Like,
I still don't know how he passed yet. They didn't say what happened.
Combusted.
So
that'd be crazy.
But part of that though, and maybe I need to look more into it. But I haven't. To be fair, I'm gonna put this out there. It's a hot take, but I have no research, so maybe he did die of some cause. But what if he faked his death because he no longer wants to portray MF Doom and he's going to come back with a next supervillain character?
That'll be amazing.
Well, why would he have to fake his death?
Because
nobody knows who he is.
I have to take this off and I put this one on.
Just when everyone thought they were safe, Doom returns or something.
Doom returns.
Like,
I saw something where like
die all the time but come back to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I saw something where it's like it was.
How many times did Frieza die, bro?
Frieza's a different type of man,
too, right?
Doom's a different type of man, bro.
Yo, if I had to fight Doom or Frieza, I'm fighting Doom, fam. I'm telling you from now.
Not for Frieza at all. I'm sorry.
I read something where it's like because he wears a mask, like he passed away because when everybody started wearing masks.
Yeah, I can see that.
I took that completely out of context because I barely remember it, but you know what? Whatever. Just make of it what you will. It's just it's a weird parallel type of thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's crazy. But rest in peace, bro.
R.I.P. for real.
The amazing thing about MF Doom is, and I was surprised to see that he got a whole lot of love because, you know, like he was popping on the internet when he passed, like big time. And like very people I seen posted about Doom that I know that I'm like, I've never heard you bumping MF Doom ever.
But that's
kind of thing.
Anyone. That's what's his name too? When X passed, I know Bearmans are like, oh, RIP X, and she's like, yo, man's even bump his tunes like that.
Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Same thing with Nipsey.
Same with Nips.
That's the biggest one. That's the fucking biggest one.
That is
I
the
feel like
biggest
for the
one.
most part, people just do it because everyone else is doing it. Obviously, that's like what social media is.
Literally, yeah.
It literally is. It's like
doing anything for clout.
I see monkey see monkey do. Right?
It's this is trending. I better talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Or else it was like the whole thing with when people posted black
squares. Black
squares. Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We fucking can't win, right? Like the only way you win is if you're not on social media, I guess. Yeah. Or
facts.
Yeah. Like Manzo definitely know that TGR bumps MF Doom heavily because I guarantee at least one of our episodes in our library opens with an MF Doom song. At least one of them. Probably. I'm pretty sure we opened to like Gastrolls or Operation Doomsday or something.
One of my roommates in college used to have all his vinyls, so we used to just bump that all the time.
Sick. Mad Villain.
Smoke a lot of dope.
That's what it is.
Listening to you know? But
I think the thing I'll miss the most about MF Doom is the thing I loved about him so much was just the character that he created and emulated. I thought it was so unique and so creative. And, you know, as much as he wasn't like huge for popularity, every rapper, anyone who was in rapping and producing rated this guy heavily.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially like in particular, all the old school cats, you know.
Because he did his fucking thing. He did his fucking thing. He could have done what other people did. He could have been like any other rapper, but he's like, no, I'm gonna be MF Doom, the supervillain. I'm gonna wear a fucking mask. I'm gonna be like no other rapper out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did
it's like a '90s swag almost, because every nigga in the '90s want to be something different. You know, no one want to buy anyone's stuff. Just do your own stuff.
I mean, I feel like, especially to avoid fame and shit like that, I feel like that'd be a really good approach. Mm-hmm. Just wear a mask. Nobody knows.
Well, that's what I mean too. It's almost like
ski mask.
Fucking backwards from
ski mask, man.
Hasty market.
Yeah, like he didn't want to be he didn't even. It's almost like he also didn't want to be like the most famous rapper in the world either, or anything. He wanted his privacy. That meant something.
Who would, man? Fame is the worst.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not famous at all, but like from what I've seen, it's just awful.
Everybody has like a meltdown and shit.
Yeah.
Kanye's having sex with like hermaphrodites and shit.
I heard something about that. Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing?
True,
I don't think that's true, to be honest, but it's like, yo, the hell, bro?
But yo, it's like anything. I'm not surprised if anything comes out of that, because the way our world or society has been going, man, ain't nothing a surprise no more.
Right.
If they were to say an asteroid is going to hit Earth in May,
on Tuesday,
I'm like, all right, let's go.
Holy shit!
If that's happening, we're 100% linking up for end of the world bars. Like,
who cares when you get Kobe?
Let me say something. Every time I spit bars, it's the end of the world, dog.
Tuesday. This is the womb till I'm back from my brother went. That's what my tune would say.
But yeah, you guys want to say any closing thoughts or ideas or opinions?
I hope every man has a blessed 2021. May this year be better than the last. Yeah. Let's get it.
I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
J-Rod.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely do, bro. Thank you.
You need that vitamin C, vitamin D.
Mm-mm.
And was that oil of oregano you're telling me?
Yeah,
Yeah. See.
secret.
Okay.
Oil of oregano.
Secret
Yeah,
herb.
that way.
Special
That
herb.
secret herb. That special herb.
On sale now. Oil of oregano at TGR905.com.
I'll deliver you mine.
Same day
$70
delivery.
bucks.
J-Rod is not delivering. There'll be no Kobe.
You might know. Roulette, bro. Roll the dice and see what happens.
But so yeah, even though it's like a different year, it's still the same shit that's happening from the previous year.
Yeah.
But if you're like myself or TGR who ended the year on a momentum, like keep it going, because being in momentum is probably one of the most important things to achieving whatever it is you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Be decisive and be clear on what your desires and needs are, and everything will snowball from there.
And hoping for an abundance of wealth for the mandem, you know?
Yes, sir.
Everybody leveling up this year and going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly what you need to do.
100%. Let us know if you still need TGR merch.
Link me.
We got the mugs in stock now. Super rare.
That's a greasy one.
Holy, bro.
It is a greasy
Need
mug,
that.
I'm not gonna lie.
I got really
Need that.
You need that? I got you.
Need that.
I'll customize. I'll put bills on it too.
Jeez, I put an IE at the end too.
That's it. But yeah, looking forward to more Zoom casts. Hopefully this lockdown ends soon. Maybe.
Yeah, because our stew looks pretty dope now.
I missed the stew, man. I missed
Let's see
it.
the stew in a minute.
Oh.
I honestly, I love the new stew so much better than the old setup. Like with my
greasy.
with my weird curved desk. like looking at us from like an angle over my shoulder and shit.
Yeah, relax. It's a classic.
Yeah.
What are you dealing with, bro? It's just an upgrade, you know?
It shows the progression. Like obviously I'm a firm believer in 1% better every day. It doesn't matter if you make a huge stride every day, as long as you made some sort of progress every day, you're going in the right direction. That's all that matters.
Consistency.
Exactly.
Bless up, my guy.
Exactly. And if there's one thing our viewers and our listeners will notice, especially if you were with us from the beginning or you aren't just listening to recent episodes, you go back and start from the beginning and see where it's come to. You see where the video started and where the videos come to since then. You'll see we continue to step our game up. And I know once we get that consistency, it's going to take that really vigorous progress. Once we pick up enough momentum and get that content train running big time.
Yeah. And like, I know this is more geared towards like us, TGR, but if you look at like some of the most successful podcasts out there, their episode counts are in probably the thousands, 500 to 1,000 plus, right? So this ain't no overnight thing unless you already have a huge cult following. Yeah.
Or you
leverage that into that. But stuff like this, whether it be music, getting healthier, podcasting, journaling, reading, literally anything is an incremental process that you need to sort of chip away at every day, right? And eventually, you will be successful.
Level up.
So
to success to the end of 2021 or to the end of 2020 since we didn't see each other. Giving my little New Year's cheers. To us there.
Let's go Timmy's cheers.
Cheers to 2020. Here's to a much better 2021. J-Rod, doesn't matter. He can't taste or smell it anyways. But to good health, to good fortune, and to good friends. 2021 is going to be exciting for TGR, myself, the TGR fam, and all our friends, fans, family. All y'all, we love you guys. And it's going to be a big year.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time, man. Damn.
I don't know if that.
Eat.